Let's talk about psychological control methods. Because I need y'all focused. If you look at movies like, let's just say Batman, right? If you look at movies and look at villains, right? What's the main thing they use to control people and control the narrative? It's fear. You look at Bane, what did he do? He induced fear. You look at the Joker, what did the Joker do? He induced fear. You look at the United States, the World Trade Center, them demolishing it. What did they do? They induced fear. They had everybody thinking, oh, these people over here in another country got on our planes and, oh yeah, go over there and bomb those people. I'm afraid they're going to do it again, right? And America fell for it, hook, line, and sinker, because fear is a great control mechanism. Now, if y'all can lose all y'all fear, you can become a lot more powerful, all right? If you can lose your fear, you can become a lot more powerful. That's why I'm making this video, to explain things to you, to explain how fear and scarcity can mess with your mind. It's almost like a disease. Me personally, I don't want any fear around me. If somebody comes around me with fear, fear is contagious. You ever just be chilling and you're out somewhere, you could be out in the woods, you could be doing anything, and then somebody will go, oh, what's that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? And it's like, what do you mean did I hear it? Did you hear what? What, where? Over there. And it's like, what do you mean? Or it's dark at night and it's like, yo, did you see that? Oh, did you hear that? Oh. Why are you trying to induce fear in me because you feel uncertain about something? And there's only one thing, all right, that I found with time that removes fear. And that thing is knowledge. All right. You have to have knowledge and you have to understand how your environment is working to work against your mind. If people could just watch the World Trade Centers fall and go, these motherfuckers actually demolitioned our buildings and now they think we're going to co-sign this bullshit ass war. They can get the fuck out of here with that. I'm not worried about that. How could that induce fear in you? You get what I'm saying? It can't work if you have the knowledge in your head. Like, I've been in a forest before. I go in forests all the time. I'll go in there and hang out. I'll go and do shrooms in the middle of the forest and stay in there all night, overnight. And I love listening to the sounds and the beauty of all these things, right? But what do they do on movies and TVs? If you notice, every single time you're in the forest, it's like they don't want you in there because they're always going to induce some kind of fear element. You can watch a movie about werewolves. You can watch a movie about witches. You can watch a movie about anything dark, right? The Game of Thrones, anything. Lord of the Rings, right? Do you always notice they always make it seem like, yo, when you go into this forest, these things are in there. And it's the dark forest and, oh, people don't come out and all. What? Why is it the most natural, most purest thing that we have left, which is a forest, they try and induce fear there? You understand? Don't fall for it. Anything they try and induce fear of, love that. I love the dark forest. I love the dark forest. I love it. I love going out into the woods and it's dark. I love it. Let's go for a walk. I love it. There's nothing scary out there. There's trees, there's nature, there's bugs, there's bats. It's beautiful out there. I enjoy it. Another thing they use to control y'all is what they're doing right now. And let me explain this to y'all in detail. It's scarcity. Why? Because scarcity induces fear. Oh, there's going to be a shutdown at the ports and everything. Everybody, what happens? Oh, I'm afraid I won't have. I'm afraid I'm going to run out. I'm afraid I won't eat. Now you're scared. Now what? Now they can control you. They can do whatever they want. If they want it, they could double or triple the price of everything. And you're just going to go buy it. Why? Because you're afraid. Scarcity. Do you understand? They did this shortage thing right here, and everybody responded in a way where they ran to go buy and do all this stuff when y'all needed to understand that all the companies actually doubled and tripled their inventory. So we would have supplies for at least another 6 to 9 months. They have warehouses and they have hubs. You guys are thinking, all of this stuff is coming from overseas and all that. None of that shit was happening. Not only that, you have to have knowledge about certain things. A lot of things are stored and you don't know it. Like apples, for instance. I only eat apples around this time of year that are naturally picked. Why? They can store apples for 2 to 3 years. In a gas warehouse, the gas actually slows down the oxidation process and the respiration of the apple, and it keeps it fresh longer. That's why if y'all notice, y'all eat apples in a supermarket all year long. They're just there all year long. You think we're picking apples all year long? No, they roll them out of the warehouse all year long. Now, you take something like strawberries, like fruit, right? You go in a supermarket, and this is another thing people like to do. They like to always talk about a food shortage. I'm going to tell you right now, there is no such thing as a food shortage. To say there's a such thing as a food shortage is to basically tell me the blueberry trees, the raspberry trees, the orange trees, the apple trees, and all the fruit trees we have, the peaches, all those trees that naturally produce every year aren't producing. Somehow their roots have been cut, or the trees are just say, yo, man, we ain't making no more fruit. Does that happen? No, they're going to produce every single year. Are they not? They are. So where's the shortage? Where is it? It's at the point where the distributor and the people marketing the stuff to you want you to believe it's scarce. Understand? You go in a supermarket and you look at all that fruit and stuff there. I remember I worked in a supermarket. People don't even know. That stuff sits there for 3 days. 3 days. After 3 days, they get a shipment. That person comes out. That's why you're always in the produce section and you see that person there. They'll be taking perfectly fine bananas and other fruit and they'll be loading it on a cart. And then another person will come out with all the fresh new stuff they ordered, because it's not like the trees are going to stop producing. You understand? They're going to keep producing. And if you want to make your money and keep everything rolling, you're going to keep collecting those cherries. You're going to keep collecting everything. You understand? And so after 3 days, that shit goes into the back of the supermarket. And behind every supermarket, because I worked in them, behind every supermarket is a special dumpster. It's closed off to the outside. Why? They want to induce scarcity. If I take all of this perfectly fine fruit and I throw it out in the back in a dumpster, right? Eventually, y'all are going to get the schedule down of when that goes into there. You're going to dump the cartons. You're going to dump all the pints of blueberries. You're going to dump everything in there, right? Then what's going to happen? People are going to be like, I'm not going in the store to spend fucking $9. Organic blueberries are like $9. I'm not going to spend, $8 on organic blackberries. I'm going to go just grab them out the dumpster. They're still fresh. They're still good, right? Do you think they want you doing that? No. The powers that be that run the supermarket know you're going to do that. And so they induce scarcity by going, and trust me and believe, they caught on to it. We used to just dump it in the back and people would go dumpster diving, right? And then they said, nah, now they have an enclosed dumpster. It's stuck right to the produce section. Anybody in the produce or the supermarket can tell you exactly what I'm telling you now. I ain't lying to you, right? They go back there and they collect all this food and they throw it in there. And this is the thing. They are so hardcore about not giving that food to anybody. Not the employees, not anybody. I remember my boy Jay. He was my homie. We were out in the streets and everything, smoking weed after work and everything. Like my boy, he'd come over, we go to parties and all that. He was the produce manager back there. When he would bring back, all those cut up fruits and all that other stuff, that's what they do with that extra stuff. When y'all see all the blueberries, the strawberries, the this, that, and the third, when they pull those stuff back and they put them out there, they make all of these big dishes. It's got the pineapples, the blueberries, the strawberries, and the cantaloupe all in there. And it costs like fucking $25. And you just be like, man, I ain't buying that. I'll just go buy and cut my own shit up, right? Those usually sit there. When they go bad and all the rest of the fruit goes bad, they go in a cart and they go in the back. And when they go in the back, they just throw it away. I went back there and I was like, yo, bro, can I just take some of that home? He was like, nah, man, if you even think about that, man, I can lose my job. I would get in trouble. You can't take any of this home. You could just stay back here if you want, bro, and eat as much as you want. But all of this has got to go in that dumpster. And he can't even put it in there neat. It's not even like they can throw it in there and put it in a pint. He's told to open it all up and dump it out. Why? They want to induce scarcity. So we're forced to buy things. So we're forced to live in fear. And that's what I wanted y'all to know. Knowledge is power. And when you have knowledge, you don't fear anything. Do you understand? I think you understand. Peace, TikTok.